We're going to dive into the moments that make us. Have you ever wondered why you can remember the exact feeling of your first heartbreak, the smell of the air, the song that was playing, but not what you had for lunch last Tuesday? What is it that makes some moments stick with us forever, shaping who we are? In this journey, we're going beyond just listing life's big events. We'll explore the powerful, real-life stories of people just like you, and then uncover the fascinating science of why these moments create such unshakable emotional memories. This is for anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by their emotions, who has sought meaning in hardship, who simply wants to feel more connected to the shared human experience. We'll show you that you're not alone and provide you with a new way to understand and navigate your own story. At our core, we all travel a similar path. The human journey is marked by universal events, milestones that create a foundation of shared experience, connecting us across cultures and generations. We can think of them in a few key categories. There are the beginnings, the birth of a child, the spark of a new love, the first day at a dream job. Then there's the endings, the profound grief from the loss of a loved one, the heartbreak of a relationship ending, or the complex transition of retirement. There are the triumphs, achieving a goal you fought for years, overcoming a serious illness, finding the courage to stand up for what you believe in. And finally, there's the challenges, facing unexpected adversity, learning from your failures, and processing deep regret. And these aren't just anecdotes. The science confirms their power. Events like marriage, childbirth, and bereavement, they have the most profound and longest lasting impact on our well-being. So, what exactly is happening in our brains that makes these moments so powerful? Why are they burned into our memory? It's not magic. It's a brilliant survival mechanism. Think of your brain as a diligent archivist of your life's story. When you experience a strong emotion like joy, fear, or shock, a part of your brain called the amygdala fires up. The amygdala, it acts like a highlighter pen. It sends a signal to the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, essentially saying, "Hey, pay attention. This is important. Save this one in high def." This phenomenon, it's been studied before. Columbia University explained this is how the brain forms strong emotional memories. Essentially, it's a survival mechanism. It's designed to help us remember what's truly important. It does that for our learning and for our safety. What's even more incredible is that the core feelings that trigger this process, they're universal. Psychologist Paul Elkman's research identified several universal emotions that all humans, regardless of culture, recognize and experience. They're joy, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. This proves that our deepest feelings are a shared language. The joy you feel is an echo of the joy felt by someone 1,000 miles away. This brings us to a question many of us have. Why are painful or traumatic memories often the most vivid? Well, it's because the brain's highlighter function, it's supercharged during times of threat or stress. The amygdala, it screams, "Remember this. This is our threat to our survival." This is why those memories can be so detailed and at times so intrusive. It's a core area of study in neuroscience. It's complex, but it is understandable. Now, science gives us the what, but stories give us the who. They give these concepts a heartbeat. To truly understand, we need to connect with the human experience. When I got the call about my brother, it was like the world just stopped. I remember the silence on the other end of the phone more than the words. For weeks, my emotions were just static. I wasn't just sad, I was confused, I was angry, I was numb. I felt completely alone in this bubble of fog. And then one day, my neighbor, who I barely knew, they left a pot of soup on my doorstep. No note, just soup. That small, simple act of kindness, it was the first crack of light. It didn't fix anything, but it reminded me that the world was still there. It was a connection. I remember when a friend told me they poured 10 years into their company. It was their entire identity. When it failed, they felt like a failure. They had so much shame, it was suffocating. They didn't want to be seen by anyone. They felt like they let everyone down. And then after, they just spent months adrift. The turning point, it was a conversation they had with their dad. They finally told him how they felt. And their dad, instead of judging them, he just said, "Good. Now you're free to build something that actually makes you happy." That one sentence, it shifted everything. It gave him the permission to see it wasn't an end, but as a violent necessary beginning to open the door of what's next. These stories, we don't just feel sympathy, we feel connection. Through them, we see our own struggles, our own capacity for resilience. It's reflected in others. And recognizing that we're not alone is the first step to healing that feeling of isolation. We've all experienced moments like those in our own unique way. How do we turn those moments to meaning? Understanding our past is powerful, but how do we use that knowledge to navigate our present and future? It's about moving from being a passenger in our emotional life to being the pilot. Here are a few actionable frameworks. The first step isn't to fight a feeling, but to get specific. This idea, known as emotional granularity, it comes from the work of a neuroscientist, Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett. Are you just angry? Or are you feeling betrayed, disrespected, or frustrated? Are you sad? Or are you lonely, disappointed, or grieving? Naming the emotion precisely takes away its power to overwhelm you, and it gives you a roadmap for what to do next. The next tool is called the Find the Helper framework. In any challenging moment, it's easy to focus on the pain. This framework helps you shift your focus. Look for the helpers. This could be the people who showed up, like that neighbor. It could be the unexpected kindness you received. Or, just as important, it could be the helper you discovered within yourself, that inner strength you didn't know you had until you were tested. The last tool we're going to talk about, it's reflective journaling. Reflective journaling for growth. Here's a practical exercise you can do today. Take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Write down the story of a recent emotional moment. It could be a big one, it could be a small one. Now, underneath it, write just one sentence about what you learned from it, or what it taught you about yourself. This simple journaling act, it can begin to transform that memory. It can transform a painful memory into a source of personal growth. Navigating these moments, it's not just about coping, it's about building the foundation for the future, so you can face with confidence what comes next. You'll have new strength, you'll have new wisdom. Emotional resilience isn't about having armor that prevents you from feeling pain. It's about how well you recover after you get hit. This is a skill you can build. It's fostered by nurturing your support systems, the people you can be vulnerable with. It's strengthened by mindful practices that you can observe. It's maintained by keeping perspective on the temporary nature of our feelings. All of this leads to emotional maturity. This is the journey from blaming the world for our feelings to taking responsibility for our reactions. It's about developing true empathy for others' experiences and learning to regulate our emotional responses rather than being controlled by them. And here's the best part. You don't have to wait for a crisis to build this toolkit. Resilience and maturity are built in the small daily moments of our human connection. It's a genuine conversation, a thank you that you truly mean, a moment of uninterrupted presence with a loved one. These are the threads that weave the safety net that catch us when we fall. And life's most emotional moments are not random static. They're a profound combination of universal human biology and our own deeply personal stories. By understanding both, we can move from being overwhelmed by our feelings to being guided by them. Your joy, your grief, your struggles, and your triumphs, they're not isolated events. They're part of a shared human tapestry that connects us all. Your story, it truly matters. If this resonated with you, the first step in your transformation is to share this with someone who might need to hear it. Please, let's start building those connections. Let's build them one story at a time. What's one emotional moment that has defined you? Please share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. I look forward to hearing them.